What's interesting about artificial intelligence is it was something that was very popular for computer scientists to study all the way back in the mid-1980s. And unfortunately, what happened with AI was that a lot of the vision for what it could become simply wasn't achieved. And it kind of fizzled out. Obviously, the ideas behind it, the programming disciplines behind it, and the core concepts around statistics and rule engines and so forth, those didn't go away. So it kind of stayed in purgatory. And what's happened recently is because of big data and because of the cloud and because of the way that compute and storage have become much more economical, and of course with the cloud much more elastic, meaning you can grow what you need for a specific computing problem and then shrink it back down later. That has made a lot of what came decades before a lot more practical, a lot more actionable, and we're starting to see it. And something that was very much relegated to academia, artificial intelligence and machine learning, well, that's become really mainstream. We're seeing coverage of it in mainstream news media, and we're also seeing concrete applications of it. For example, probably the most canonical example at this point is self-driving or autonomous cars. So the technology is really hitting home in a way that people who are not in the industry, lay people if you will, can understand its impact. They can also understand some of the ethical problems that it might bring up, and there's discussion around that as well, which I think is good. But mostly what we're getting to now is a period where everybody in tech is at least starting to think about how their job will change when AI is more mainstream and more accessible. And so we really see an orientation towards that. I absolutely think that big data is not only the enabler of that, but will continue to be the enabler and therefore a beneficiary of it. And so we're going to get to a point where AI really produces a bumper crop of technology and products in the big data world, and I think it's great. It's not without, again, its ethical kind of questions, and honestly, we need to work harder on that, but I think they're solvable problems, especially in an industry that's pretty self-aware. So I'm looking forward to that becoming a bigger thing over the next 2, 5, 10 years.